My nightmare stepdaughter is manipulating my son into thinking that I don't love him because he's a middle child, so I kicked her out of my house. I have been with my husband for 8 years. He has a 13-year-old daughter and I have a 14 and 9-year-old son. My husband and I have a 5-month-old daughter together. Prior to me giving birth, life was pretty smooth sailing. We did family trips often, had Sunday family night, designated one-on-one time with each of the kids. There were a few fights between the kids but nothing major and was usually resolved within minutes. Since I had the baby, everything has been downhill. My home has become a war zone between my youngest son and my stepdaughter. They are physically fighting each other constantly, 90% of the time with my stepdaughter instigating. She knows my son has ASD and ADHD and doesn't like being touched, so she will go up to him and poke him continuously even after being told to stop and then call him psycho when he flips out. But it's literally on purpose. She purposely provokes him, to a point where my husband and I have told her at least 8x that she is to stay away from him entirely for the rest of the day. Well, I've noticed lately that my youngest son has been getting incredibly emotional lately. When I try to get him to talk about it, he screams at me. It's been a huge thing and I've been over the top stressed out. He is in therapy. Well, his behavioral therapist opened up to me about 2 weeks back, saying that she was concerned about my son and asked specifically about how much influence my stepdaughter has over my son. She said a lot of stuff had been said in therapy. I won't go into extreme detail, but it was enough to warrant a conversation with my husband and him cracking down on what his daughter was saying to my son. He eventually ended up grounding her for that and something else, and it just made it worse. Well, this morning around 6 a.m. my son just starts flipping out over nothing. I tried talking to him and he told me, "Shut up, you never even loved me anyways." I asked him what he was talking about and he just screamed at me to shut up again. My stepdaughter, who was at the table eating cereal, says, "Get used to it. Like I told you, nobody loves middle kids, you should just move out now." He storms off to his room. I asked her if she was the reason why he was acting like this morning and she said, "No, you are. I didn't make him a middle kid. All I did was explain to him that he will never be loved again, but I didn't make that happen. You did." She is also a middle child in both households, so she talks about middle child syndrome often. My husband walked in and told his daughter to go to her room and took her phone, yet again. He went to talk to me and apologize, but I just kinda cut him off and said, "I actually can't do this anymore. Your daughter is destroying my son's life and making him think that I hate him, and I am starting to hate that kid to a point where I can't be near her. So I'm going to leave. I would like you and your kid out of my home within 2 months. I own the property and have for 15 years. He's trying to argue that this can be fixed, but it's really come to a point where I hate his child and don't want her near me or my son at all. He says he can't believe I'm throwing us away over something that can be fixed.